Hey guys, it's Allison here at the Beekeep in Poteet, Texas. It's just me today because Dad and Mom are out of town. We're just checking on our new hives and our splits, hopefully doing some feeding. Fortunately and unfortunately, it's been raining the last couple of days, which is great because we need it for the spring bloom, but you can't keep bees in the rain, which is no fun. So it's drizzling right now. I'm hopefully gonna wait a little bit for a break in the rain so I can feed. Worst comes to worst, I don't do any inspections and I just feed today. But yeah, that's what we're doing. Stay tuned. Hey guys, I'm over here in our second apiary. The rain stopped, which is great. It's still humid, very humid. So it's gonna make for sweaty beekeeping. But we're over here with the splits we took from our 7 or 6 original hives, as you can see here. I'm going to walk you guys through what we do when we're looking at these splits for just overall hive health. So there are a couple things we look for. One is a laying queen. So you can either see the queen, which is super ideal, super awesome. We marked some of these queens earlier. So it'd be great if I saw one today, but if not, we'll look for new brood or eggs or larvae in some of the frames. That's one thing. We need to make sure there's a laying queen, that the hive hasn't killed the queen, that they're all happy and dandy inside. Additionally, we'll look at just like overall hive temperament. So with aggressive hives, you'll see them kind of flying at your face, flying at your arms, trying to sting you, maybe get really aggravated when you open the hive. Additionally, we will look for food. Do they have honey? Are they using the sugar water that we're putting in through the feeders? What is their food source? And are they making any honey? We'll also look, this is kind of a lower tier, but we'll also look at if they're bringing pollen in, what the pollen flow is. Since we've gotten some rain, we're starting to see a little bit more of a bloom here in Poteet, so hopefully we'll see some pollen today, and maybe they're starting to make some honey, but we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. Thanks. Okay, let's get this party started. Okay. This looks like a full hive, which is great. We have some activity. I'm having trouble with my smoker today, so we'll see how that goes. Taking off the pollen patty. Looks like we still have some empty frames in here, which is to be expected. They're still kind of growing it out. I got a phone call. Let's see. Okay, so as I said, this hive has some empty frames, but they're relatively calm, it seems. Oops, sorry. Kind of opening up to the heart of the hive. Looks like they're building out some honey. And we have some pollen. You can see the yellow. Oh, if you can, I'm not sure. Some of the yellow. So that's good. They're bringing in some pollen. They're getting it from somewhere. They've made some honey, which is great. I didn't see any brood. There's still time. Okay, we have some brood here and some larvae, which is a great sign. So we have a laying queen. They've accepted this queen. It looks like they have been drinking from the feeder, so I'll refill that today, just to give them some more support before more of the blooms come up with this rain. Oh, I see the queen. She looks happy. Great. Awesome. So this hive is doing well. I'm just gonna put everything back. So let's go over our checklist. We have overall temperament. They're pretty calm, which is great. They weren't attacking me. Another way you can check this is by doing the wave method. If you wave your hand above the frames and bees come kind of flying up at you and are more aggressive, then you have more of an issue, but nothing happened when I did that there. They didn't get really angry when I opened the hive, nothing like that. We have some eggs, some new brood. I spotted the queen. She looks happy. No one was attacking her. And it looks like they have some honey that they're using. That might be from some of the blooms that are occurring. That might be from the sugar water. But because this is this hive's first year, we'll just keep supplementing with sugar water. We're not quite going to harvest from these hives yet. So yeah, just continuing to support it as it kind of gets its feet under it. So yeah, that's that. So you guys watched me do my first hive inspection. I just finished feeding them, and now it's just about rinse and repeat, and I'll keep you guys updated on if there's anything interesting and what I decide to do based on that. Hey guys, now I'm back in apiary number 1. All the splits looked really, really good. And now I'm in our new hives, our nukes, that have been growing very rapidly. I just looked at one, and he needs a second layer already. We already added some honey supers on those towards the back. So we're just gonna open these other 2 up and see what's going on here, see if we need to add layers there. A way that we know we need to add layers is if they are working on all the frames in the hive. If they don't have any more space to draw out comb on frames, or all the frames are filled, that's how you know you need to add more. You might be asking yourself, hey Allison, what's the difference between a nuke and a split? That's a very good question. I'm glad you asked. And I'm here to tell you. I'll tell you while I do this quick hive inspection. So, it's a very busy hive. So a nuke. Nukes are basically small versions of other hives that you buy from other apiaries. So the Bee Place, we bought 5 nukes from them, and 5 5-frame nukes. Those have a laying queen in them. So all we had to do, you saw this last week, was put those frames from the nuke boxes into these hives. A split is when you take one of your existing hives and take frames out to prevent it from swarming, from overgrowing its resources. So that's what we did, and those splits that we took last week, that's what I just checked in apiary number 2. There's also a thing called a package, which is just a box of bees. There's no frames. There can or cannot be a queen, it depends. But it's just a box of bees, and you have to provide the frames for those bees to grow on. I hope that makes sense. Okay, let's get going with this hive inspection. So pretty tame, it looks like, but I'm still gonna go slow and steady. Another good thing about these bees is they're doing a great job of sticking their frames together. It's kind of high maintenance for us because it's harder to get the frames out and all that stuff, but it means they're working on the whole hive. So this frame, there's some pollen, but it's also just sugar water that they filled this out with. So that's how we know they're using the feed. Let's look in frame number 2. Okay. Looks like some capped honey here. And capped honey. And some eggs. So when you're looking for eggs, you'll look in frame, and in each cell, there'll be a tiny little white slit. It looks like a grain of rice right in the middle of the cell. So now we know that there's a laying queen, which is great. I believe this queen is marked, which is awesome. Because we know that there's a laying queen, they have some honey, they're using our feed, we don't really have to go that much further into this hive. Most of the frames, or most of the hives I was in today, are a little temperamental just because of the rain. So I'm trying to limit how much I disturb them today. So now all we have to do is feed. Which is great, easy peasy, no problems. Shout out to the Bee Place, you guys make really, really good nukes. These are thriving. it looks like they have a little bit of room left. So I hesitate to add one, but you also have to think about when am I coming back next? Because if you think they're gonna overgrow in the next 2 weeks and you're not gonna come back for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, then you should definitely add a layer just for future. So I think I'll probably add a layer there. They've built most of this out. So you can either add a big box or a honey super. It's just up to you. I brought 2 big boxes and 1 honey super with me. And I'm gonna do a big box just because I feel like it. So yeah, that was this hive inspection. Hey guys, it's a couple hours later and I'm back at my parents' house in San Antonio now. I just forgot to film the finished video at the Beekeep because things got very, very warm. But yeah, nothing alarming going on in both the splits and the nukes. They both look really good. I added a couple layers onto the nukes. I hope you enjoyed the information I was giving you. And yeah, keep watching. It's good to see y'all. Bye.